everybody, good to see you. Today we're going to be making kinetic sand. How many of you have ever played with kinetic sand? Yes? Or no? Well, if you were to buy this in the store, it's very expensive. But today we're going to make our own, and there's enough sand that we could probably make 3 or 4 batches of this, but we're only going to do one today. So check out the recipe and the instructions, and we'll be back in half a second. Enough room for 50 pounds of sand in my house, I decided to make it a smaller amount. So I took a bowl, my bathroom scale, a cup to measure it out, and so I made 10 pounds of sand. So who knows that we can use math to make our recipe. We're going to have to divide everything by 5. So 1 pound bowl, so we deducted that. So 10 pounds of sand. So the recipe calls for 50. We divided that by 5, so we have 10 pounds of sand. Cornstarch, 6 cups divided by 5 is about 1 1/4 cups. Soap, 2 tablespoons divided by 5 is about just over 1 teaspoon. And water, 1/4 cup of water divided by 5 is just over 3 teaspoons. So we're gonna get busy. I have my ingredients here. I have my cornstarch, I have my soap, I have a measuring cup, and I will have my water. So I am going to move this sand, because it's a big bowl, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough room in there to get my hands in, into a bigger flat bowl. And hopefully that works. I don't know if that's much better or not. I've got one big heaping pile of sand. So we'll still give it a try. We might have to, if we did it again, do that again in half. So we're using 5 pounds of sand instead of 10. So the first thing is 1 1/4 cups of cornstarch. So I'm just going to pour this in. With the weather so nice outside, it might be a nice thing to do outside and won't make such a big mess in your house. Okay, so that looks like about 1 1/4 cups. Then we're going to need just over 1 teaspoon of soap. So I'm just going to make sure it overflows. Now we're going to add the water, which is just over 3 teaspoons. Now my sand is pretty wet, so I'm not sure if I'm going to end up with too much water or not. But let's just mix it in there. And if you wanted to make colored kinetic sand, you could just put some dye in that water before you start mixing it. Now, just start mixing it by hand and see what happens. This is definitely a great sensory project for some of our kids. It's a great sensory project for me. And I definitely think next time I will go with 5 pounds instead of 10. A little over ambitious, but just keep mixing it in. Well, I think we finally finished our recipe of kinetic sand. I think the issue with my sand was it's a little bit too wet, and also as I Googled some other stuff while I was trying to get it pulled together, they suggested mixing the cornstarch, the water, and the soap together first before adding it. So I'm going to give you that recipe as well. So here it is, and if it dries out too much, you can add a little bit more water to it. So my question to myself was, did you enjoy making this kinetic sand? Yes or No. No. My answer would be no. Look at the mess that I have. So if you're going to try this, definitely try it outside. I ended up, because it was so wet, going through almost 40 pounds of sand. The rest of it's outside. But if you want to try it, I would suggest trying that other recipe, the second one I posted, and it can be done with 1 cup of sand, and hopefully it won't be quite so messy. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and enjoy, and we will catch you next time. Bye!